Good morning, Rebels. Happy Thursday. We're heading towards the weekend. Today I wanted to come on, and I've titled this Strategies to Avoid Corporate Burnout, and how to put sort of self-care at the top of your list. And it struck me this morning as well that it's mental health, World Mental Health Day. So I think it's even more important to give this a focus today. So burnout. We talk about it a lot. It's bandied about quite a lot, and you might be experiencing it in your corporate working life. I know certainly I got to the point where I did, or you might feel like you're kind of teetering on the edge. So I thought today, let's talk about it. Let's acknowledge what it is, and more importantly, strategies we can use to avoid, if you like, heading in this direction. So I was doing a little bit of Googling online, and I found this definition which kind of felt quite right. It said, burnout is a state of emotional, mental and physical exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. And it occurs when you feel overwhelmed and unable to meet constant demands. And as stress continues, you begin to lose interest or motivation, that leads you to lose interest or motivation that led you to take on a certain role in the first place. And I thought, I wonder if that sounds familiar for you rebels out there. It certainly did for me. And actually left unchecked, that corporate burnout can wreak havoc on our health, our happiness, our relationships, our job performance. And really what we need to do is to catch it early on our corporate treadmill. It's important to know actually what to look for. So there's a number of things I kind of came up with. Was actually there's 10 of them, in fact. That exhaustion, really feeling spent, that's emotional, physical and mental. Having a lack of motivation, that real struggle to get yourself going in the morning. Maybe frustration, cynicism around your job, feeling really disillusioned, finding it hard to concentrate or give your full attention at work. And as you said, not feeling really on your game at work. And that can kind of seep into kind of interpersonal problems at home as well as work, maybe more conflicts or withdrawing from life. And we can all, if you like, kind of go down this route, is that you're not taking as much care of ourselves, maybe into a bit of excess drinking, fast food, self-medicating with alcohol and such like, or preoccupation with work when you're not at work. I know I certainly kind of felt that. I was thinking about work all the time. Health issues coming up, or just general decrease in satisfaction. So what can you do? And what I like to call is, what can you do to nourish and feed your soul and really take self-care seriously and really cultivate a rich non-working life? And at the end of the day, making time for yourself. Now, I might hear you cry, that feels a bit selfish, a bit self-indulgent to kind of focus on me. And probably even more so important now as we sort of rattle, for those of you who have children, towards half term, there's that kind of risk of a danger of face planting yourself before the half-term holidays have got here. But it's not selfish. It is really a daily non-negotiable self-care to kind of keep that burnout in check. And as I said, it might feel a little bit strange, particularly as if you're in corporate life, not feeling quite comfortable there. You want to sort of jump off that corporate treadmill. And now here I come along saying you need to make self-care really important. I know when I was in corporate life, it was important, but it somehow felt scheduled in. Might be the occasional massage, getting my nails done, fitting around a kind of corporate event, but it was very prescriptive, rather actually making it a non-negotiable each day for me. So what I'm saying is, I understand if it feels quite counterintuitive to kind of give yourself that permission for self-care, but it does put you in a better and clearer headspace to consider what you want to do in the future. And it certainly enabled me to be more creative, more energized, stepping out into corporate world and setting up my own business. And even more so important when you are self-employed, like I am, as a coach, as a counsellor, to be bounded with self-care and to make sure that it becomes part of my day-to-day life. So a couple of things to think about before I give you my top tips for self-care. And it's amazing what happens when you put that permission in place to take time out for you. So 6 things I came up with was, really reaching out to the people around you, your community. If you're feeling that burnout, there's no need to go it alone, to reach out for help, to get feedback, to get support. And actually by talking, it helps us to be more self-aware too, and cathartic in itself. Essentials like good sleep, not grabbing those 40 winks, making sure you get plenty of sleep, sort of 7.5 to 9 hours a night is ideal. I know we don't quite get it, but the important things like dark room, screen-free time, and winding down ritual before we go to bed. Importantly, taking care of your body, good nutrition, regular exercise to help kind of mitigate exhaustion symptoms, things like adequate protein and vegetables, healthy fats to stabilize blood sugar, and good old exercise as well to promote blood flow. It all feels like it needs to be fitted in, but it's important to do it to release endorphins and give us an increased focus. Keeping a stress log, I find that quite useful, just to see your patterns of stress, when you feel depleted, when concentration is lower, when you're feeling forgetful, maybe when there's pessimism around or apathy. And at work, importantly, and I know it's tricky to structure your day, so incorporating small breaks, reducing sort of meeting overload, it does happen, and just looking at your hours, because always on can be overwhelming. I've been there, you just can't switch on, and if you're not careful, it feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, that it feels like your fault, that you can't stay on top of things. So have a good conversation with your manager, set boundaries, and kind of learn when to say no. And importantly, across all of this is, staying attuned to kind of what your body is telling you as well. And that's me, if you like, with mainly my coaching, but also my counselling hat on too. So here are just some ideas from me today for things that can be quite quick, that you can have in your self-care bundle, and you can dip into them when you need to. So how about, and it is a list, so bear with me, writing down 5 things that you're grateful for each day. Writing down what it means to be you. And that's important because sometimes we lose sight of who we are when we're sort of caught up in corporate life. Listen to a song that inspires you. Maybe do a meditation. It's important also maybe to list all of our accomplishments, because sometimes we lose sight of that, and that can bring us real joy and reward. Going out for a walk, enjoying nature. I'm a big fan of journaling as well, so it can be really amazing just to write down affirmations for yourself. Do something that's fun, or pamper yourself, or just smiling and taking in, just noticing when you're feeling quite overwhelmed, and doing some breathing exercises. Maybe just setting an impromptu call up with your best mates. It's hard sometimes, but walking away from negativity. Spending 10 minutes, visualizing what you want to achieve for the day, for the month. Unplugging, getting away from technology and social media. Trying out a new restaurant, exploring, going to a place that you've never been before. Taking up a new hobby. Maybe just taking some time out simply to read a book, or help someone with something, maybe some volunteering, or anything from painting, drawing, colouring, whatever helps you, just for a little bit of self-care to tune out. So I leave you with today just a thought about, what is your self-care non-negotiable or non-negotiables going to be, and what will be part of that plan, your personal plan to stay, balanced, motivated, because at the end of the day, and I started with it at the beginning, is burnout really does suck, and we don't really want to go down that route. We want to look after ourselves when we're in our corporate world. So I'm going to leave that thought with you today. I'm going to try and put some kind of pictures up as well. I've never quite mastered the art of putting a video up and some pictures alongside it, so hopefully I can do that as well. But have a great Thursday, whatever you're doing, and I'll tune back in next week. Bye for now.